Hello, everybody. Let me know where you all are tuning in from. Anyway, I wanted to go over today. We're going over Genesis 48. And I know our last Bible reading, everybody really loved that. I actually got almost 800 hits just on Facebook. All my videos I do eventually transfer over to my YouTube channel. So if you guys can't find one of my videos from Facebook, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I do transport all of them to my YouTube channel before Facebook actually deletes them. Okay, and so anyway, we're going over Genesis 48. And it came to pass after these things that one told Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. And he took with him two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph cometh unto thee, and Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said unto Joseph, God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. And he said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful, and multiply thee. I will make thee a multitude of people, and will give this land to thy seed, and after thee for an everlasting possession. And now thy sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine, as Reuben and Simeon. They shall be mine, and the issue which thou begettest after them, and shall be thine, and shall be called after name of the brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I came from Padan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan, in the way when yet there was a little way to come unto Ephrath, and I buried her there in the way of Ephrath, the same as Bethlehem. And Israel, behold, Joseph's son, said, Who are these? So, what is going on here in Genesis 48? The miracle was Joseph was basically, he let himself be known to his father, because after it was like 13 or 14 years, they actually thought Joseph died, because the jealous brothers threw him into the pit, and actually he ended up in slavery, and he ended up being falsely accused for coming onto the Pharaoh's wife, so he got imprisoned. And then he prophesied the Pharaoh's dream that he had, and that's how he got out of prison like that. And then he became like the second in command over all of Egypt. And so anyway, and now his father, actually, he's sick. And Joseph shows up and says, and he brings his two children with him. And Joseph also married an Egyptian. And so that's what I don't understand, how a lot of people are against this and that when they say they're Christian, but yet if you really read the Bible, and I mean really read it and actually understand what has actually happened here, Joseph actually married an Egyptian woman. So there's a lot of, different gods that actually Egyptians actually worship, like the sun god. back then. And so anyway, let's just keep that in mind while we're reading this, because we can't be talking about how this and that is bad when it is in the Bible if you read it. And so now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee into Egypt, are mine as Reuben and Simeon. They were mine, the issue. And thy issue thou which begettest after them shall be thine, and she shall be called the name of the brethren in their inheritance. So I chose this is because they received a blessing. They received a blessing from Jacob, okay? And he basically said, who are these two? Who are these two? And Joseph responded like, these are your grandchildren. And because Joseph was so lost for so long, his dad was so grateful that he even showed up, because he thought he died. And he mourned for a long time because Joseph was his favorite child. And that, I know it's disheartening for a parent to have a favorite child, because that's kind of like the bad thing here. Even though Joseph had a certain calling on his life and he was anointed by God, and that's why sometimes people do become the favorite, because they do have a special calling on their life to do something, because that's what pissed off his brothers, because he says, I'm going to rule over thee one day. I'm going to rule. And he had these visions in his dreams. He had these visions that he understood what was going to happen, but his brothers did not understand. So that's why they threw him in a pit. They were jealous. They were tired of his remarks about how he would rule over them. And in a way, it's kind of natural to have jealousy in that sense. I mean, nobody likes to not be like someone else, to have their favorites, and parents shouldn't have their favorites. I believe we should treat all of our children equally, but in this case that wasn't the case. And so if you do feel like you've been looked over in your family, like your other siblings have actually reigned over you in a sense, you're not alone, okay? And so this is a time, let's not look at it as, favorites or whatever. We all have special callings, and we all have our different callings. And so that's kind of what this is going over. In Israel, behold, Joseph's son, and said, who are these? And Joseph said unto his father, these are my sons, who God hath given me in this place. And he said, bring them, I pray thee, unto thee, and I will bless them. And he wanted to bless them. And the thing is, normally the blessing will go to the children. But in this case, Jacob, he wanted to bless his grandchildren, just like it was going to be a blessing to his own children. So that's why he says, give them to me. I basically take them up as my own children, my grandchildren. I take these two because you've been through so much. I wanted to not only bless you, but bless my grandchildren as if they were my own, which means not only did Joseph get more than his brothers, but his brothers also kind of got mad, because now his children are being treated as equally as the brothers. Now, and another thing is, not only did they get that extra blessing, but their mother was Egyptian. Okay. And so, they worship different gods and that sort of thing, but that did not hold this blessing back. It did not hold this blessing back in. So it didn't matter. It just didn't matter here. And Israel held Joseph's sons. Who are these? Yes, okay, so I already read that. And he kissed them and embraced them. And Israel said unto Joseph, I had not thought to see thy face. And this is about ready to, if you really think about it, it's kind of tear-wrenching in a sense. Because he was so depressed for so long, mourning the loss of his child, that finally he returned. And the brothers made up the story. He got in a fight with an animal and he got killed, which was a big fat lie. And Joseph brought them out of between his knees and bowed himself with his face to the earth. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hand willingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Now, Manasseh was the firstborn. But he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named upon them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow unto a multitude in the midst of the earth. And when Joseph saw that his father laid right hand upon Ephraim's, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head onto Manasseh's head. Now, if you get what I'm saying, he blessed the wrong grandchild to basically receive the mega blessing. He didn't really, he got him mixed up. He crossed his hands by accident. And he didn't know because, well, he probably did. Maybe he got mixed up. He didn't know his grandchildren that much, and maybe he didn't know really what. But Joseph did indicate, Manasseh is my firstborn, not Ephraim. But he got him mixed up. And so Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused. And now I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people. He shall be great, but truly his younger brother shall be greater than he. His seed shall become a multitude of nations. And he blessed them a day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless. God make thee as Ephraim and Manasseh, and set Ephraim before Manasseh. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land unto your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorites, with my sword and with my bow. And see, that's what happens when bad things happen to you and someone steals your time, your riches, and all that. God will restore you and give you another portion. So not only did Joseph get blessed, but his children also got blessed. And his own children were treated as if they were a sibling and receiving that blessing. So, my message to you today is sometimes things seem unfair, but God knows, and God knows every situation that you're going through and what may happen to you. But in the end, the blessing is near, okay? And sometimes, I mean, it really, really seems unfair what happened to Joseph. I mean, but in the end, he was truly blessed, not only with his father's blessing, but he became the second in command of all of Egypt, and he was second in line to rule Egypt. And so his hardships, his long sufferings, his pain became his strength in receiving the almost the second in command. And so it was a true blessing. And sometimes we must not look at our hardships as a bad thing. We need to look at it as it's preparing me to rule in my destiny. So what is your destiny? What is your calling? And so anyway, again, that's Genesis 48. And that's it, everybody. Okay, bye-bye.